Alright, so here we go. MTW Dimaga spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as the red Zerg. We'll go ahead and put in all the cool little stuff. In the top right-hand corner, we have Liquid Tyler as the blue Protoss. Whoa. My Asian's coming out, apparently. And you know what? I have to say that I've been such a Tyler fan, or a Noni fan. I always called him Noni Season 1. I've been such a Tyler fan since the days of Brood War, where he just performed immaculate. He won the TSL 2, and I've just been a fanboy ever since that huge upset against Idra.
Yeah, man, you took the words right out of my mouth. I'm such a huge Tyler fan, and I actually get to put on my little hipster glasses and be like, hey, man, I was a fan before you were. I was a fan of Tyler back when he made those first-person VODs. That was like before TSL 1, man.
You remember that game or that YouTube
Arbiters?
One where
Arbiters, man. I knew you were talking about. Oh, yeah.
I just said, remember that game? You're like, Arbiters. Yeah, it was on Gaia, PVT, man.
Yeah. But look at this. Tyler actually went for a 10-gate.
Oh,
very unorthodox here. Generally, Protoss players will sometimes go for a 10-gate PVZ so that they can get out a very early Zealot and an early Stalker as well. They can go put some pressure, especially on a Zerg that goes for a hatchery first. So that could be what he's going for. One of the most common transitions out of this. You know, I used to experiment with this build, and I was like, well, this build's not that good, until my friend was like, hey, man, try going Stargate out of it. You start out with this 10-gate, put on some pressure with some Zealots, and then the Zerg is a little bit less prepared when all of a sudden a Void Ray shows up.
Yeah, I've actually been doing that. There's a lot of continuation attacks with it, and it forces your opponent not to have a lot of drones, so they have to be so accurate with what they do and what they make. Really, the only way to defeat it is, I think, getting like a lot of queens or an evolution chamber, something like that. But that's, I don't know, it's improbable, especially for what Dimaga is doing. We can see him going for a Speedling Expand. A lot of times when you go Speedling Expand, you don't have that excess amount of gas or money to actually utilize the Evolution Chamber, so a lot of times you won't see it get up. I would love to see Dimaga going at like a fast +1, but that's a style only I've seen Sen do. And, well, I don't really know much about Dimaga's style, but, well, in terms of recently, but you know, he might actually surprise me. I'd be surprised if he did something like that.
We will have to wait and see, but I'm so confused by Tyler's play here. It does look like he just wanted to go for the fastest Stalker possible. With that 10-gate, didn't even go for the Zealot first, just rushed out straight to the Stalker. And you know what? This Stalker might actually get this Overlord right here.
Dimaga, he's just like chilling over here. He's like, no, I just want a scenic route over this ground. Of course, this Overlord is going to go down. It is armored, so it does get additional damage dealt to it by that one Stalker. Looks like it will die. Dimaga will go in the red. It looks like he has another Overlord in queue. He knew exactly what was going on, but still, it hurts. It hurts in this beginning stage.
It does hurt, man. It's not just 100 minerals, it's also that larva. And you know what? Dimaga has got to be a little bit shocked, because if that timing, if Tyler had actually gone for the standard 13-gate or maybe even a 12-gate, that Overlord probably would have lived. So that 10-gate did just get him an Overlord kill. We'll have to see how much these two Stalkers at the front will actually be able to do. Dimaga actually has a lot more links in production. Most Zerg players would probably have drones right now, but he's got 8 more links in production compared to the, I believe, 8 he already has on the field. So these two Stalkers are going to have to be very careful, since speed already about 30 seconds from completion. And it looks like Tyler realizes that that hatchery was late enough that it wasn't, you know, it was, well, actually, you got scouting information, so he knew it was a Speedling build. So he's going to get out there in time to make sure that he doesn't lose these Stalkers to any Speedling aggression.
Oh, definitely. And he has to get up there fast. Actually, Metabolic Boost just finished, and oh my god, will these Zerglings actually catch the Stalkers? No, it's very far away, actually. Alright, chill out, Gretorp. I thought for a second it might have been okay for Dimaga, or it might have been really juicy for Dimaga, rather. But no, that's not going to happen. These two Stalkers enough to deal damage. It looks like Dimaga was able to see one gateway, wasn't able to see any other gateways. For all he knows, it could be a 3-gate expand still, but we know. Whoa, hold on. There's Phoenix coming out of here.
Yeah, man, we already have one Phoenix out. It looks like Tyler is going to go for a Stargate play, but it's not the orthodox Stargate play you normally expect. And he didn't open up with that Zealot pressure, but he did force a lot of links, so it's possible this will do a little bit more damage than normal. But without any Void Ray to support, he's not going for that Void Ray style. He's just going pure Phoenix, so he's not going to be able to actually use Void Rays to put pressure on an expansion or on Spore Crawlers building, etc. Only Phoenix is going to be a little bit weaker, man.
This is really weird to me, because a lot of times you get that Void Ray, and that's the main DPS unit. And all your gateway units are defending that one Void Ray, and your Void Ray is just doing all the damage to, you know, things like Queens, things like Spine Crawlers, what have you. But going Phoenixes, it's kind of weak against like spine crawlers and stuff like that. And I feel like Dimaga doesn't really have to defend too much about it. We can already see he has 3 queens up. I think he's going to be absolutely safe against these Phoenixes.
And look at that. A Spore immediately goes up as he sees the Phoenixes come forward to try to snipe off the Queen, but Tyler only has 3 Phoenixes here. It is going to take him 2 lifts to actually kill off this Queen, and the second Queen is on the way. He does lift it up again, though, so he probably will be able to get this Queen kill, and he does get it, but there's already 2 Queens out from Dimaga, and he has a 3rd and 4th Queen on the way, so it looks like Dimaga is going to go for that mass Queen style defense that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, but still, I mean, we see Tyler moving down, bearing down on the natural, but I don't think the main army right now is his gateway army. You know, he just has the Phoenixes supplementing. That's not a position you want to be. Zerglings are going to moving in very, very fast over here. 1 force field goes down, but complete surround on this army for all intents and purpose. And I don't think that that this is going to be enough. Dimaga's going to clean up very, very easily.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tyler also had let the Queen sit there and attack for quite a long time. He had those Phoenixes AFK for quite a long time there before actually lifting them up. He does have a nice position here with these Stalkers, but there are a lot more Berserkers popping out right now, and I just don't think he has enough units right now. And if Tyler loses this position, I mean, he still hasn't taken an expansion, so this is pretty all in, this 3-gate Stargate play. Now he's going to get the Void Ray, but it doesn't really make much sense to get the Void Ray after the Phoenixes, since usually you'd get that Void first so the Phoenixes can catch up with their greater speed. So, I mean, I guess getting the Void Ray will be nice to help secure an expansion, but for an expansion to go up for Tyler now would just be so late anyways, that Dimaga has such a good advantage. It would be hard for him to throw away this game.
Looking at the income tab, it's only a 3 drone lead, but the big thing is that he has that expansion for quite a long time. Tyler doesn't look like he can take his expansion, although he is kind of facing like he wants to. Still, these Zerglings are going to deny any form of that dream, as it needs to back up. These Zerglings can always suicide into that one Nexus and kill it. So Dimaga has quite a big of a lead in terms of economy, and he has a 3rd hatchery coming up, meaning that he will be able to get a ton of larvae, spend all of his larvae on probably drones and things like that, Zerglings, whatever it might be, and just take a decisive advantage. Well, he already has the decisive advantage, but he can materialize it into his economy.
That he can. I wouldn't even be surprised to see him take a relatively quick 3rd base. Now that he's going to see, wait a minute, Tyler did take an expansion, and he still has to deal with this extremely large number of Zerglings running around. These Speedlings, he throws down the force fields, but oh no, throws a 3rd force field. And now, oh my god, the Nexus is getting sniped down. Oh no, forced to cancel.
Oh
Tyler
no.
Unable to get his sentries. Oh my god. Oh no, the sentries are getting surrounded. This is terrible, Andre. If he loses these sentries, it is going to be game over. Oh no, Tyler has lost his entire army, and he only has a Void Ray.
He just used the Warpin all on the ground. It looks like these Zerglings will be able to get inside. The one probe that was trying to block off is going to be killed. Tyler is scrambling to get units right now. All he has is the Void Ray up here. The Zerglings are just running amok. Every single one of the probes just dying so fast. It looks like finally a Warpin is going to come in. 2 Zealots are going to come in here and kill the rest of these units. And holy crap, Tyler's in a lot of trouble right now.
He's in an immense amount of trouble. You can really tell how much he's panicked right now due to the fact that he has 100 energy. There we go, finally spending some energy on that for the chrono on those probes. But I mean, he was at 100 energy there for a very long amount of time. So clearly he's a little bit panicked right now. He just knows how far behind he is. He's going to desperately try to stay in this game. He even got that Robotech up. So, I mean, he's going to try to stay in here, but it's 2 base versus 1 base right now. And it's not just a normal 2 base versus 1 base. It's actually a lot more severe than that, because not only are there 3 hatcheries for Dimaga, but also Tyler has continually lost his sentries, his Phoenixes. You know, he just keeps losing these expensive, hard to remake units. And if he were still on 1 base, but he had a huge army, that would be one thing. But with no army, still on 1 base at this stage of the game, it is not looking good for Tyler.
6 Infestors on the way. It looks like these Zerglings are also +1 upgraded, about to be +2 in only just about over a minute. Tyler, no way does he have any room for any upgrades. He's just trying to get an army, let alone an expansion, and I don't know where he can go from here. Infestors are going to be coming out, and I think it's actually overkill. It's to the point where he doesn't even need them. He could probably just use his Zerglings 1A in and kill his opponent, but 6 Infestors are on the way, and it looks like Dimaga literally can do whatever he wants. He's so
yeah, he
ahead.
really can. It's, I mean, right now it's 100 food to 40, but it's actually way more ahead than that food count makes it look. With a 3rd on the way at Dimaga at the gold base. He's actually bringing his queens along for this attack.
What?
Along with the, yeah, look at that. 4 queens coming along, slowly walking across the map. They have enough energy for like 1 million transfuses.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't actually just like bring an Overlord, drop some creep, and make some like creep tumors to prevent his opponent from expanding. There he goes. He's going to go ahead and take out that only Void Ray, which is basically the only thing that's been keeping Tyler alive this whole time. And now look at what does Tyler have. He hasn't been using any of his Warp Gate cooldowns because he's had to save all of his money to try to take up to Colossi and take that Nexus. So literally all he has is 1 Zealot and 2 Sentries, and that's it. 2 Phoenixes as well. Forced to cancel the Nexus again. And if it wasn't already GG, that would have been the nail in the coffin. I'm actually surprised Tyler hasn't already GG'd. He's going to try to stay alive until he can get this first Colossus out. Probably doesn't realize the extent of exactly how far behind he is, so he's going to stay in just in case Dimaga is staying on 2 bases or something like that. But once he sees these 6 Infestors coming in, throwing down a ton of infested Terrans, I mean, what can he possibly do?
I have no clue. A lot of infested Terrans are being thrown down right now. Zergling's running amok. Oh my god, this looks terrible for Tyler. I can just see from his vision, it's so many units coming out. He's trying to get this Colossus. I don't think it'll, even if it comes out, it'll be able to do anything at all. Those queens are over there as well. Looks like everything's being overrun. GG comes out from Tyler, and Dimaga is going to take game number 1. And Tyler was put to rest. Holy guacamole. Dimaga looks so good, but, I have to kind of question Tyler's build. We were talking about Void Ray openings in that whole time, and I think both of us assumed that a Void Ray was coming out. All of a sudden, Phoenixes were out, and we're like, what the heck?
Yeah, Tyler really likes his Phoenixes. He was actually one of the first people to start utilizing them back in beta. Not just PvZ, but PvT, even PvP. So he's definitely a fan of the unit. And I also know that with his playstyle, he really likes to be able to scout his opponent at every point in the game. He likes using hallucination for that, early observers. So one of the builds he likes to do is to try to focus on some early Phoenixes, not just for harass, but mostly for the scouting potential. But the build was a little bit offset. I feel like maybe if it had been like a 2-gate Stargate Phoenix into an expansion, it would have been better. But he went for this strange like 3-gate Phoenix, like all in. Where he went for the attack there, brought all his sentries, but there were a couple things that were off about it. First off, the fact that, he had no Void Ray, so he didn't have any ability to put pressure on the spines without taking a lot of damage. The second problem was that Dimaga just had like a million queens and like a million Zerglings. He was totally fine. I think the number one thing that actually Tyler needed to do if he wanted to pull that off was pick off that Zergling watching his natural. The entire time, there was a single Zergling at his natural watching, and that is why I was watching the production tab all the time. Dimaga was making like a million links, and I was like, whoa, what is he doing? Why is he not making drones? The reason why is because he saw, oh my god, this Protoss is still on 1 base. This is definitely an all-in, and therefore I don't even have to make drones. I already know I have an advantage just by having the expansion, and I'm just going to make tons and tons and tons and tons of speedlings, and that was more than enough to deal with Tyler's build. The second problem I was going to talk about really quickly was just the fact that Tyler didn't set up a forward pylon. He did set it up, but it was very, very late, and it only actually kind of came into effect after the attack was like already happening. So unfortunately, it just didn't work out that well for Tyler. But I got to agree with you. I think the build order just wasn't really ideal there. I think you have to just focus in PvZ on getting a little bit of an earlier expansion, albeit it is a little bit difficult on a map like Xel'Naga Caverns.
Definitely, and well said. Actually, that being said, we're going to go into game number 2 in a little bit. MTW Dimaga versus Liquid Tyler. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back with you.